The new MrBeast allegations are terrible.
Where you at, Berto?
Once again, the MrBeast company is being accused of something heinous.
This nigga MrBeast be getting canceled every other week, ain't it? Yo, what's going on now, bruh?
It was like 2024 all over again. Yeah, so a few days ago, it went public that a former MrBeast employee is suing the company over claims of sexual harassment and workplace gender bias. Now, the claims come from a former executive named Lorraine Mavromatis, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. She worked there between 2022 and 2025, and she claims that the harassment of women employees was condoned and complaints were not taken seriously at the business. She also claims that she was fired after, quote, complaining about a workplace that suffered from a lack of basic employment protections. Now, obviously, these are extremely serious claims, and right now everything is just alleged, but to me, and really I think most people, this looks pretty bad, and that is mainly due to the fact that this is not the first, nor is it even just the second time that we have heard of claims like this coming from people who work within or adjacent to the MrBeast company. Now, it is important to note that
Bro, I think the whole thing with MrBeast, I don't think he's a bad person. I just think he's completely out of touch with reality, which that doesn't make the wrongdoing okay. Like just because there's a justification for the wrongdoing doesn't mean it's okay to do wrong. So let me say that. But I just don't, from what I can see, it feels like MrBeast isn't a bad person. He just is so out of touch with reality. Bro, this is the same type of nigga that buried himself alive for however long for views, gang. Something's got to be a little bit off up there. Like, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I love content. I definitely want to do bigger streams. I want to make, big, extravagant, do crazy things and crazy challenges. But I will never bury myself alive. I promise you that. I don't care that much. I care a lot and I want it bad, but I don't want it that much. I feel like this is somebody that is just a little bit disassociated, doesn't understand social cues. All this nigga cares about is views. Hold on, am I rapping though?
Where you at, Berto?
WBert in the chat. I'm gonna drop a mixtape this weekend.
of the claim.
I'm trolling. I'm not dropping music this weekend. Wait, hold on. I know you guys usually skip this part of the video, but give me 1 second. I want to put you guys on real quick on a way to make some extra money that is 100% legit, and you could do it all from your phone. TesterUp is a platform that works with games to find new users just like you to test their games out. These apps and games are willing to pay new users to get on their platform because 9 times out of 10, they genuinely actually like playing the game. And the app in return ends up making money because you're playing the game that they paid you to play. I know that sounds a little bit too good to be true, but this is why I'm breaking it down for you so you understand the business behind it and how it works. TesterUp helps put money back in your pocket that these platforms are willing to pay for new users. So if you already like playing games on your phone, click the link in the description or use the QR code on the screen. You're gonna make a free account. It's completely free to do, and you can start making $10 to $20 off of games that you already love playing. This isn't a get rich quick scheme, so it's full transparency here, but if you're dedicated enough and you like playing games on your phone, there's people already making hundreds of dollars as well. Again, it's completely free to try. Use the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description. Check it out and make some extra cash.
That have made it to a courtroom have been confirmed yet, but at the same time, none of those lawsuits have come to a conclusion yet, and it seems like we are back in the middle of the shit show that was the whole MrBeast situation a couple of years ago. Now, if you somehow have no idea what I'm talking about when I say the MrBeast situation, wow, you've missed out on a lot, but I think in the context of this video, it's important that you're at least somewhat aware of what I'm talking about, so I'll do my best to give you a quick rundown in like a minute or less. For most of you, I realize that this will be shit you already know, but like I mentioned, this is not the first time we've heard of these claims, and I think that fact is extremely relevant when we are looking at a new lawsuit alleging the same stuff. So, with that being said, let's get into the details. There's a lot to go through. Let's begin. Please subscribe. Okay, so like I said, gonna try and get through this recap as quickly as I can, but there is a lot to go through. In my opinion, there is a lot of information that is relevant to this lawsuit and makes the whole thing look just that much worse. So basically, back in early to mid 2024, MrBeast found himself in the beginning of what was gonna end up being like a 6-month-long endless wave of controversy. And as I'm sure many of you remember, it all started with Ava Chris Tyson, a long-standing member of the MrBeast channel. Allegations surfaced that there were some inappropriate interactions between Ava Chris Tyson and minors on Discord. The screenshots of everything spread rapidly, people started digging, and a whole lot of weird shit was discovered pretty quickly. And it was honestly pretty bad. Lots of seriously weird and seriously questionable behavior from Ava was discovered on Twitter, old MrBeast videos, and all of this together resulted in Ava's departure from the channel. Now, eventually, the MrBeast company announced an internal investigation into all this. A third-party law firm was brought in, and they found that the claims against Ava were baseless. Now, while that might be the case, the behavior that we could all see with our own eyes, stuff like having a fucking Shadman poster in your room visible in a MrBeast video, was pretty damning, and from that point forward, there was really no going back. The reputation of the MrBeast company was forever damaged, and it only got worse from there. Shortly after this, though, the whole Delaware situation popped up, and this one is a lot foggier. What actually went down is still not really known, but basically the main claim was that the MrBeast company hired a known registered sex offender and tried to hide that from their audience. Now, obviously, the claims about trying to cover it up are just speculation. Multiple former employees claimed that the higher-ups at the MrBeast company knew that he was a registered sex offender, but I did my best to look back into everything, and I think this is one of the things that never really, fully got resolved or answered. What is known for sure, though, is that in some way, shape, or form, this guy was employed by the MrBeast company, and he was a registered sex offender. Anyways, after this, and honestly, I think that this is probably the most important piece of context here, a class action lawsuit was filed against MrBeast production company regarding the Beast Games, with the complaint alleged being widespread mistreatment of the Beast Games contestants, with part of that mistreatment in—
Yo, it's like, again, if MrBeast did something wrong and he's truly doing weird activity, I hope the justice comes to the forefront. But I can't help but feel like if after you get big enough as a creator or actor or singer, whatever, you can't escape the bullshit. Somebody's always going to lie and twist something. I don't want this. I want to be successful, but holy shit, every other week somebody's suing you for this, somebody's making this up. It's we don't even know what's real or fake anymore, bruh. This is crazy.
Including sexual harassment. A quote from the lawsuit claims that the environment, quote, systematically fostered a culture of misogyny and sexism. So, combine all of this with other one-off claims of just general toxic workplace environments, including occasional claims of sexism and misogyny, and suddenly this new lawsuit looks a whole lot worse than it might if none of this other shit ever happened. Anyways, so much for that 1 minute long recap. I did the best I could. I think that's as quick as anybody on the planet could have done that. Let's take a look at what we know so far about this brand new lawsuit.
So what's going on now?
Earlier, this lawsuit was filed by a former executive at the MrBeast company named Lorraine Mavromatis. And the main allegations of this lawsuit seem to be mistreatment of employees based on workplace gender bias and sexual harassment. More specifically, this article details that the lawsuit is accusing the MrBeast company of violating federal law that entitles eligible employees to take unpaid job-protected leave for qualifying family and medical reasons, including childbirth. Mavromatis also filed a complaint with the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission alleging discrimination on the basis of sex, pregnancy, and retaliation. She claimed that she was working non-stop following her baby's birth, including while she was in the delivery room. She said in an interview, quote, "I was still bleeding and I just had to show up." She also said that in the years leading up to the termination of her employment, she experienced sexual harassment and workplace gender bias. Apparently, less than 3 weeks after she returned to work full-time after giving birth, she was fired. Due to all of this, Mavromatis says that she has suffered mental anguish, humiliation, embarrassment, and damage to her emotional and psychological well-being. She is seeking lost wages, lost benefits, and reinstatement, amongst various other forms of damages. Now, I think it's important to note here that the MrBeast company and its lawyers have been strongly denying these claims. The word strongly might be an understatement. A representative for the MrBeast company has described the claims as a clout-chasing complaint, built on deliberate misrepresentations and categorically false statements, saying that they have the receipts to prove that that is the case. They also said that the company had extensive evidence, including messages, documents, and witness testimony that unequivocally refutes Mavromatis' claims. They said that they will not submit to opportunistic lawyers looking to manufacture a payday from us. There were also some more specific things shared, like the company sharing an exchange on their workplace messaging app called Slack, where apparently a coworker told Mavromatis that she shouldn't even be checking her messages after she had to cancel a meeting because she was in labor, and also in response to the claim that the company failed to inform her of her rights lawsuits under the Family and Medical Leave Act. The company shared a screenshot of her signature confirming her receipt of the employee handbook, including their FMLA policies. So, I mean, both sides are making extremely strong claims, and both sides seem pretty damn confident in their ability to prove their version of the story to be the correct one. And I mean, these claims just get worse and worse as you continue to get deeper and deeper into the details of this lawsuit. For example, one of the claims is that after a few months at the company, Mavromatis noticed that Jimmy, aka MrBeast, would not make eye contact with her, and due to this, she asked James Warren.
I was listening, I was locked in. I don't want to discredit whatever you think you might have gone through, but the CEO of the company that is a multi-millionaire, million company and all this other shit going on, you upset because the nigga didn't make eye contact with you? This is starting to feel like a nothing burger.
Tap into Berto Gaming to never miss a live gaming experience.
Come here, baby girl.
MrBeast's cousin for advice, and according to the complaint, his response was that Jimmy gets really awkward around beautiful women. Let's just say that when you're around and he goes to the restroom, he's not actually using the restroom, which is genuinely just an insane thing to say to a person, especially in a work setting. And I feel like it's the kind of thing that is just so damn specific that most people would struggle like making something like that up. You would think that if this was said, it was said as just like a shitty attempt at humor, like this guy just trying to embarrass MrBeast and make him look like a creep because he thinks it's funny. But like, if this is true, whatever the intention might have been, for the CEO of a company, which James was at the time, to tell an employee like, hey, you know the main guy around here? Yeah, whenever he sees you, he goes into the bathroom and jerks off, is absolutely absurd. Like, that is...
Yeah, but like... Yeah. And again, if that happened, that's definitely something you bring to HR, but like, is that MrBeast's fault? Like, is MrBeast an evil person because that happened? You know, I don't think so, bro. I think that's something that you take to the HR department and, you know, get that individual fired, because that is some weirdo shit. And if nobody should be saying that, and you're in a professional environment, keep it professional. But is MrBeast an evil, terrible person now because of that?
Genuinely insane behavior.
Because one of his employees did some weird shit? What y'all think, man?
MrBeast's company responded to this and said that Jimmy's frequent bathroom trips were attributed to his Crohn's disease, which, like, yeah, probably the case. I feel like the bigger issue here is not why MrBeast was going to the bathroom. I feel like it's the joke and the implication that the fucking CEO of the company made. Interesting how they didn't really seem to address that. Anyways, that's pretty much all the information that's out there right now. This all just went public a few days ago from my understanding, so it'll probably be a few months before we really hear anything like concrete. Obviously, everything is still up in the air right now, but as an outsider looking in, this does not look good. I feel like after you reach a certain number of these claims, of these sorts of allegations, even the most skeptical of people really have to start questioning the idea that somehow all of these people are just doing this for fame, doing it for money, doing it for the clout. Like, look, if it was still early 2024 and it was all pretty much just like YouTube videos, okay, I would understand being a lot more skeptical, but I feel like a lot of people underestimate the risk and expense that is involved when it comes to opening up a lawsuit like this. Lawsuits like this cost a lot, like hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it's even more expensive, it's even more stressful, it's more...
I don't know if it's hundreds of thousands of dollars. If it's a civil lawsuit, I don't think it gets that expensive, honestly. So I think that might be some misinformation right there with that particular statement, if I'm being honest.
Like everything negative associated with a lawsuit, when you're going up against somebody that you know has like 10,000 times the funds that you have. Funds to hire the best lawyers to pick you apart, funds to countersue you, funds to make this lawsuit an absolute living nightmare for you. Now look, obviously those things being the case does not like automatically make this lawsuit airtight. It doesn't make the claim.
And there's sometimes there's lawyers out there that are completely out of touch that will take the lawsuit because they think that a company that is big and successful, or a person that is big and successful, will just settle with hush money so they don't have to deal with it, rather than going back and forth. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and co-sign this as a nothing burger. Like, if it's real and we get more hardcore evidence, then sure, do what it do. I don't give a fuck about MrBeast that much. Like, I have no loyalty to this person. If he is out here doing heinous and evil things, bruh, pack him up. But the nigga didn't stare at you, gang, and a co-worker, not MrBeast himself, but a co-worker looked at you and said an inappropriate joke. You have every right to feel uncomfortable and definitely want that to be dealt with 100%. But to then go and sue like it was this nigga's fault, MrBeast, I mean, I don't know, man. That might be taking it a little too far. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section, though. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. My name's Berto. Where you at, Berto? Join the Where You At family so you never miss a live stream reaction. The link to that is in the description. And I want to see y'all there in the next one.
Where you at, Berto?
I made this shit look too easy.